Words are hard. Your boy, Will, and this is our second episode, and people seem to really be excited about the first one, and the fact that I actually decided to go through with starting a podcast finally. Um, I really just, I don't. I don't know. Like I said in the last one, I really don't know what I'm doing. But I did get a second mic, which I actually just remembered is outside and was already delivered, and I have not brought it back in yet. Um, but I got a second mic so that I can have guests on the podcast, and it won't just be me all the time. I'm not really sure how that's going to work in my room or where that'll be set up because I need to plug it into my computer to record on Audacity, and the USB mics and the cords aren't really that long. So it might be kind of a really janky setup at first, but I'm not too upset about it. I'm just excited that people are excited for this, and I've been talking about it with people at work, and that's what gave me the idea to buy the second mic. Was someone at work was interested in coming on and talking about like mental health stuff, and I thought that would be really cool to just maybe talk about my own mental health things and like how I deal with being bipolar and the history with that. But I think the thing that I really wanted to talk about today was I came across these old pictures on my mom's camera. Like when I say old pictures, I'm talking about like 2008, 2010, 2013. And it kind of sent me down this spiral last night because I forgot that I had a life before this one. And I feel like I separate my life into a couple different ways. It's like before and after transition, but also like before and after my dad died, and how much things have changed. Like I was thinking about this earlier. Like I moved to Colorado in 2013, and my dad died in 2016, and I didn't move out of Colorado until 2014, or sorry, 2020. And so if you think about it, I spent more time in Colorado without my dad than I did with my dad, and that's a hard thing to cope with. And death in general is like a hard thing to cope with, and I think, I know that I have PTSD, but I forget how much it affects like my everyday life. And, seeing like older pictures of me, it's kind of like, wow, look at me before all that trauma. But at the same time, I remember being that age and feeling so, like before I transitioned, I can sum up my life generally with a couple words, and that's just feeling, I don't know how to put it into words, because it's like feeling like you're in this limbo, like you're supposed to be living your life, but you're not, and you don't know why, really. Like you feel like one day you'll start living your life, but you didn't know what that flip of the coin was going to be. And so when I finally came out and started transitioning, it was like, wow, I'm finally starting my life. And after I started growing facial hair and I started going by Will and my voice changed, and body fat redistribution has done a lot for me, and I again didn't realize that until yesterday. But I forget that, one, I had such a different type of struggle before I transitioned, and now it's like I'm dealing with all the stuff that I wasn't dealing with before. So like realistically, all this childhood trauma that I should have been dealing with when I was a teenager isn't coming up until now because I didn't have the mental capacity to deal with it before, because I was like every day struggling not to want to die because I didn't know who I was or even who I wanted to be. And I still feel that way now to some extent, but it's not in the same way. Like, I know I know who I am. I know that. But I don't know who I want to be, in the sense that, do I want to be this way forever, or do I want to try to become not a different person, but like a better version of myself or stuff. Or sorry, I have this background noise happening. Or do I want to try and, like I said, not be a different person, but sorry, y'all. This house is something else sometimes. I mean, honestly, like, speaking of living here, it's just there's a lot of trauma and drama and hysterics, and it's bringing up a lot of stuff that I never dealt with. And I think that's some of the hard gook, if you will, that I've been trying to sort through and identify these feelings and separate them from myself, separate my mental illness from myself. And it's really hard, honestly, dude. Like, sometimes every day just feels like a struggle to get out of my head, like get out of the clouds in a sense. Like, I don't know. Back to what I was saying before with my former self. It's funny that I even like want to phrase it that way, because I was like, literally, I took pictures of myself now and compare them to before, just to see the physical differences. But I mean, even behind the face, it feels like two different people in a good way. It's like, I mean, I think in a good way. There's a lot of nuance to it, you know. Like, I was so unhappy, but looking back at it, all I can think was, oh, that version of me still had his dad. And I think that sentiment just kind of is always going to be there with all of my pictures. It's kind of like, oh, you had no idea what was coming. Like, oh, you have no idea the stuff that you're going to go through. Like, almost being homeless and being in, like, abusive roommate situations, and but also, like, finding a job at Starbucks and really enjoying customer service in a sense, and like growing, having a lot of interpersonal growth because I got a job and was finally able to move out into another roommate situation that wasn't really shitty, where I was independent for the first time in a really long time. And now I'm fixing my credit score, and like I'm on the verge of being able to buy a car, and I'm a shift supervisor now, and like so many good and bad things have happened since some of these pictures, that it's just really emotionally confusing, I guess, is the best way to put it. Like, just I don't know if everyone feels this way about their former selves, or if it's just trans people, or if it's just me, where you simultaneously want to go back, but you also don't want to experience everything you already experienced all over again. But at the same time, I just wish I could go back just for a second to, like, appreciate the good things in my life then. Because I think that's what gets me back then. I took a lot of stuff for granted. You know, before my dad died, I didn't think about people dying. Like, that wasn't something that was on my mind every time I met somebody. And now it's like, anytime I ever get close to anybody, it's like, I think about it all the time. Especially like right now with my mom. I think about my mom dying like at least once every day, and how I'm going to handle it and how it's going to happen. And that's the PTSD that I deal with. And I forget that that's PTSD. Like, that is so ingrained in my reaction to interpersonal relationships that I forget that that's not how I usually think. And that's a lot to deal with emotionally. like I keep forgetting to tell my mom that the other night I was coming home from work, and long story short, I basically saw an ambulance drive into our neighborhood, and I can't take a left turn off the highway. I have to make a roundabout turn or whatever the hell. The jug handle, that's what it's called. I have to take the jug handle, so I make a right turn to come around to go left. And like I was at the light waiting to cross the highway again, and I was like, is this light gonna ever fucking turn green? And finally, like, I waited for the cars to clear, and I just fucking drove through, because I was like, if it is my mom who's in trouble, I'm not gonna care about this red light right now. If it's not, fine, I'll pay the ticket. I don't care. I would much rather pay the ticket than feel like I lost those moments, because they're precious and time is precious. And I think my PTSD is a little bit of like somehow being terrified because I know I won't be able to save them, but also feeling this overwhelming sense of needing to save them, even though I know that's impossible. And God, I fucking miss therapy so much. This, honestly, I should just not even post this on the internet. I should just save it and then go to therapy and be like, here, watch this. This is what I'm dealing with right now. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Besides that, things have been really good. Work has been going pretty well. I feel like my job is relatively easy. You know, doing this podcast, I've decided to stop making videos on the WeedTube just because I did apply for Arizona State University online, and I don't know if I'm going to be pursuing that or not. I just kind of went through all of this just to see if I could get accepted and what my options are and what it would realistically look like on a day-to-day basis if I were to do that. But I am trying to concentrate on getting a car right now, and I would like to move back to Colorado this time next year. I do have a couple people who reach out to me and are interested in me being their roommate, which makes me feel loved, and I miss everybody a lot, and I miss home. You know, I get homesick a lot, but at the same time, I think it's been really valuable for me to remember where I came from and kind of reconnect with my family and that part of myself that I really just wanted to cut ties, move to Colorado, and become a different person. Like, I really did. And I did do that. I'm not sure if I'm happy at how much I succeeded or not, but I was able to find myself. So I'm proud of that, at least. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about. I know that TikTok might be getting banned, which makes me really sad because I just fell in love with it. Like, literally every time I get on TikTok, I have to yell at myself to get off because I'm just like, fuck, dude, that's too much. Like, it's too funny. It is. This woman, hold on, I can't remember her @ name right now, but she made a TikTok, and it was like, are you tired of all the craziness going on in the world and something else? You should ask your doctor about fuck 'em all. And it's spelled PHUCAMOL, and it's like this fake like drug commercial, but it's called fuck 'em all. And like, your life could be so much better with fuck 'em all. And then I was on TikTok the other day or yesterday, and she posted another one that's just like, have you taken your fuck 'em all today? And dude, I laughed at that that is the first TikTok that I like went to share it, and I just pressed the first 5 that came up. I was like, y'all need to see this right now. It was the funniest fucking shit. If y'all haven't seen that TikTok, go make your day and watch that TikTok, please. Wow, the comedy gold that is on that website is actually unlawful. Everyone should be arrested for being that funny. You're corrupting the United States, and that's why we need to ban you. You're making Americans too happy in a time of suffering when everyone is supposed to suffer and die. Sorry. I don't know, guys. This might be like a really short podcast today, like 15 minutes long, not even. Let's see. What else? I really miss Jenna Marbles. Anyone who watches Jenna Marbles understands. I don't know if you know who that is, but she's my precious child, and she left me. Yeah, I decided literally on a whim one day, the other day, to just sit down and go through the entire Arizona State University application, pick out my majors. I paid for my transcripts to be sent there. It was only $18 for the entire thing because it's free for Starbucks partners to apply to ASU. And apparently the Starbucks College Achievement Plan Scholarship provides you with 42% of your tuition first off, and then it's like you can get the rest through other scholarships and loans, and I guess then Starbucks pays you back to pay off those loans or scholarships if you need to. I'm not really sure of the way that it works entirely, to be honest with you, but I figured I could find that out later. I just wanted to apply. Apparently, I didn't need my FAFSA or anything. I mean, I guess I might later, but I don't know. You know, that's the thing. Every time I start this college stuff, I'm like, the end of the sentence is always, well, I don't know. No one's telling me exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Because God forbid college be easy. Let's see. I made a smoothie this morning. I've been getting back into my smoothies. As my friends know me, I do make a lot of smoothies. We don't have a blender per se. We have a Magic Bullet or a NutriBullet or whatever the hell, which has been doing wonders. Also, life hack: if you need to crush ice, but you don't want to do it in a plastic bag or in a plastic bag, take some aluminum foil and like fold it over and stuff, and then use like I have this Starbucks cup that's like super heavy, and it's got like rubber on the bottom. And I just used that to, like, fucking smash it. And it worked really well. I don't know what else you could use instead of a Starbucks cup. A hammer? A mallet? Your face? No, don't. 0 out of 10 do not recommend using your face for that. What kind of guests would you guys want to see on here? Like, what kind of topics would you guys be interested in listening to? Like, I think mental health is a good one. I think I've been watching this new podcast by Megan Ranks. I don't know if any of you guys know her, but it's a podcast called Don't Blame Me, and it's an advice podcast where people call in and they give out their situations and then they give advice to you, which at first I thought it was kind of a joke. I mean, I guess it is, but at the same time, they actually give like really good advice. And I don't necessarily want to do that, but I have been thinking about doing more like trans-related issues and stuff like that. Someone the other day tagged me in a post about binding, and I just kind of like blurted out like 10 different things about binding, and I was like, oh, I forgot that I know all this information, and I just like have it stored in my brain, but I don't bind anymore because once I got comfortable with where words are hard. Once I got comfortable not binding, it was like, okay, well, I can never let myself get uncomfortable not binding again because binding fucking sucks. But it is a big confidence booster when you're first transitioning, and like it helps you pass at first. And now I don't bind, and I actually think it makes my chest look more realistic. I think the thing for me was always, you know, if your t-shirt should be resting on your chest and giving depth to your chest. That's the thing. Like, if you have something that's making this lay flat with the middle, or the not that, but like the middle like puffs out and is then surface level or like flush with the rest of the chest, that gives people the impression that I was wearing a bra. and that was what I hated more than having my chest actually bound. So I don't even know if that made any sense, but yeah, I don't know. Also, just not wearing a binder has been so freeing. Like, I feel like wearing a binder is like it makes other people question if you're trans less, but it makes it like in the forefront of your mind the whole time you're wearing the binder. Because the whole time I would be like, wow, this sucks so much. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. But like, look how flat my chest is. And I've always been one to be like, I don't like pain to be pretty. You know, like, I don't want to be uncomfortable or in pain just to look cute for somebody else. Because, like, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I just want to be comfortable. That I don't know where that came from. Yeah, if any of you guys out there have like a desire to be on the podcast and have a mic to record on, you don't even need a camera. I don't care. Like I only do the visual part just because I'm used to editing video, and I think it gives it a little bit more oomph. But and also because I'm not putting the podcast anywhere else but YouTube, it feels like kind of necessary to have a video, but not really. That's just like me in my mind. But if I was hosting the podcast on other platforms, which it actually wouldn't cost that much to do, I'm just kind of waiting until I have more podcasts to upload onto Spotify before I start paying for Soundtrap to upload to Spotify for me. So I want to get a couple guests on before that too. Like, I just want the podcast to be a little bit more established. I want to make sure that this is actually something that I can do consistently before I decide to invest in another monthly payment. You know, I don't plan on making money from any of this anytime soon, so I have to be careful at the money that I do spend on it, considering everything else that I want to do. But yeah, I don't know, guys. This has been an interesting year. It is August. It's August. Why has this been happening? It's August already, and I'm glad that it's almost fall because it's been so hot I haven't even been able to skateboard. Like, it's one thing for it to be hot, but then the humidity of New Jersey on top of it just makes me, like, I literally walk outside every day and my glasses just fog up. Like, it's just, there's nothing that I can do. It's just it's like walking right into the Amazon jungle every time. I miss my friends, though. I haven't really talked to anyone lately. Like, everyone's back at work, so it's like more difficult to find time, and there's a time difference between everybody, and people are moving, and also all of my friends and me suffer from depression and anxiety and stuff, so it's like just a bag of Funyuns over here, you know what I mean? I don't know, guys. I think that's all I got for today. I need to go do some errands. Gotta go to Wally World and pick up my testosterone. I need to do my shot today. If I go to Walmart one more time for my prescription and not pick up my prescription, I'm just going to stop doing testosterone. I don't even deserve to do testosterone after that. Like, it's the second time that I've literally gone to Walmart solely for the purpose of my testosterone and just not even gone by the pharmacy because I'm a fucking stoner. So, yeah, guys, if you have any suggestions for the podcast, please let me know. If you're interested in being on the podcast, please let me know. I'm sure we can figure something out. The mic that I use for the podcast and the one that I just bought, they're the same. Don't know why I felt the need to mention it twice. But they're only $40 on Amazon. If you have Prime, it's free shipping, like 2-day shipping. And all it does is plug into your computer. You download Audacity for free, and you can record for free, and then you can send me the audio, and I can do everything. I can do all the editing. If you want to come on just to fuck around, or if you want to come on have a specific topic, whatever. I am interested in everything and everything and everything. Yep, that's what I said. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have anything to promote except for the YouTube channel this is going on, so that's useless. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys watching or listening to the podcast. Thank you for supporting me. I really hope to bring this back home and to have my friends on the podcast, the friends that this idea originated from or with. But yeah, so have a good day and don't die. Yeah. All right. Peace.